So I was trying to do an unboxing of this Western Digital MyBook Duo 8TB drive, and then I was reviewing some of my footage and realized most of what I was trying to record was out of frame. So I'm just going to do a quick recap of everything I just spoke about, since you couldn't see what the hell I was talking about through most of it. So anyway, this is the Western Digital MyBook Duo 8TB external hard drive enclosure. There are two USB 3.0 ports in the back. You can daisy chain additional drives, so that's really a neat feature there. This is the port that you plug the USB 3.0 cable to that comes with the drive, so you can tether it to your desktop or your laptop, whatever you're using. Has a Kensington lock port, so you can lock it down if you're using it at the office or somewhere in public to help deter theft of the device. And then the AC adapter port plug goes here. So nice and neat, simple. Has some options for you know, adding on other features, other drives. That's nice to see. And this enclosure, this enclosure just feels super nice. It's plastic, but it's made very, very well. It has plenty of ventilation on the bottom, ventilation a little bit creeping up on the back, and then the whole top almost is completely ventilated, except for the area that you have to depress to open the top of the lid. So to do that, you just simply push down, release, pops the lid, and then you can access your drives here. So this is a metal cage right here that sits on top of where the drives slide in. And it has a honeycomb punch for ventilation in the top of it. So you just simply unscrew this little tab here, and that lifts right out. So here, I'll turn it the other way so you can see a little better. Here it lists hard drive 1, hard drive 2 on the drives themselves. Additionally, the separator in the enclosure has a 1 on this side, a 2 on this side. So you're sure to put the correct drive in the correct slot. So I would say if you ever had to replace one of these drives down the road due to a failure or you know, for whatever reason, you definitely want to relabel whatever you're installing in here to make sure you've got it in the right slot. It has these little tabs for pulling the hard drives out with. Very easy. Just give it a little tug. Comes right out. As you can see, Western Digital 4TB red hard drive. It has these little screws here. Just large head screws, little standoffs. And those are just guides for the enclosure. Boom. Back in. This little lid, this thing's a pain in the ass to get back in. You just gotta be, you gotta be holding it perfectly. The stars have to be aligned or whatever for this damn thing to go back in. Now watch it go in simply this time. No, alright. It's just such low tolerances in here for this thing. There we go. I think that's it. Yeah, went in easier the second time around. Anyway, snug that down, drop the lid, and simply push it in. You're good. So anyway, I'm going to get this thing connected to my work laptop. get the software installed, get the RAID 1 that I intend on building up and going for data protection. I'm just going to mirror the drive so all my data is protected. And I'll do a follow-up video and comment on things I like, things I may dislike, and just the general performance. Nothing technical, it's just going to be, you know, user experience with the device itself. Alright, so I'll get that done and I'll follow up shortly. Alright, I've got my MyBook Duo all set up, connected, software loaded, and the RAID array has been built. Running the RAID 1 in this one. So, this is my work area. What I'm going to do is I am going to attempt to zoom in here so you can see what in the heck is going on. So, there you have it. MyBook Duo, RAID 1. There you go. Got 3.63 total space allowed on the two drives. Of course, I've got them mirrored. It's two 4 terabyte drives, so you really only get the storage capacity of one of the drives since you're doing a mirror. For those of you that don't know that, zoom out of here. I'll show you the utility that I've got here. The WD SmartWave utility. Pretty neat little utility. See if I can square up a little bit here. Alright. So, this is of course my laptop on this side. This represents MyBook Duo drive. And of course you've got a Dropbox option if you want to use that. I am not currently using that. So basically all of my data is being stored on the MyBook Duo, and I just pull data as I need it from there. I mean, so far I've only been using it maybe 3 days, 4 days, but it seems to be perfectly fine. Not had any issues out of it. And what I've done here is I've just created these desktop shortcuts to the data that's stored on my MyBook Duo. That way I don't have to go to here and navigate all that way. Just shortcuts here. Easy to access the data as I need it. Now, before I had the MyBook Duo, I had the Western Digital 3 terabyte MyBook here that's sitting beside the Duo, and that one it was okay. It was alright. I did have an issue with it on the HP that I have it connected to. Whenever I would start the HP from a power off condition, powering it back on, it would hang the post of my laptop and it would never boot into the OS. So I checked the boot order and the BIOS, of course, on the laptop. And for those of you that are wondering, I've got the HP EliteBook 9470M running Windows 7 Enterprise. So anyway, I would have to unplug the Western Digital MyBook to get it to boot into the OS. Then I could just plug it in and it would be fine. So I never did figure out what was causing that. I looked online at some of the forums, and other people were having that issue as well, but no one seemed to have an answer for it. Now, I do not have that issue with the MyBook Duo. I leave it plugged up to the computer, and when I shut the computer down, the power shuts off for the MyBook Duo as well, and when I turn the computer back on, it boots through the post into the OS without an issue. So as far as speed, RAID 1s tend to be slower, but for what I'm using it for, just simple data storage for work purposes, it does a fine job. There's no issue there at all. I'm very happy with it so far. No problems. No problems, and that's what you want. No problems. Anyway, just a very loose unboxing and follow-up on my experience with it. Certainly nothing technical, no torture tests, anything of that nature. I didn't want to get that in depth. Just a basic functionality operation test, and it suits my needs perfectly. So if anyone out there is looking for a storage solution externally to their desktop or laptop and want some RAID, either a RAID 1 for protection of data or RAID 0 if you're looking for a little more speed, I could highly recommend this so far. Again, I've only been using it a few days, but in those few days I've been just very happy with it. No problems at all. So anyway, hope this helps someone. And that's it. Signing off.